We're back for another Monday, and it's Monday the 27th of June, and things have picked up quite a bit this weekend thanks to payday, and Bricklink is looking much healthier with 13 orders on Bricklink and some reasonable orders in there as well, so much happier with that. And then in Brick Owl, we've got another 7 orders, and on eBay we've got just 1 order, which isn't even Lego related, and maybe more on that in a little bit. It hasn't all been roses this weekend though, because my eldest son managed to rupture the ligaments in his ankle while rescuing his 4-year-old from a climbing frame. So he's gonna have a bit of a long road to recovery, at least probably 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks at least, of not driving, walking, or anything. So that's going to be fun, and is probably gonna mean a bit more work for me running around and supporting the family there, but that's not a problem, and hope he manages to get that ankle mended pretty quickly. But anyway, back to brick related things, and I'm going to go and get started on this little lot. We have got 1 order in there, which was 86 lots, which might take a little more picking, but it's not so bad. Yeah, some decent orders there. So I'm going to go and get cracking right now. So let's have a look at the first batch of orders for this morning. I'm going to try not to spend too much time on these going forward, because I think people just get a bit fatigued through sort of going through them all. So I'm just going to scoot over just so you can maybe stop the video, or I'll comment as I go. Few minifigures here going out to the US. 1 new Nelson minifig, and a couple of other collectible minifigures there. Now, just one thing to mention, I don't know if I've ever explained this before, but this is how I tend to do minifigures, so that I can check which minifigure is in the bag. And what I do is I'll get a little Stanley knife blade, and I'll cut down the inside of the seam in there. And that allows me to just open the bag a little bit so that I can get a glimpse of what's in there. And as soon as I see a part that's identifiable, then I know what's in there. I never take anything out of the actual bag. And then I just pop it into a sealed bag, and I write on the front. This is quite an old one, so I've written on Nelson. But what I do now is I actually write the number. So for instance, if you see here, this figure would have been the collectible series number 12, and it's figure number 5. So I'd just write 5 on the bag, and that's how I do it. That way, I like it because the buyer gets everything that they would have bought had they bought the little minifigure from the store. They get the packet, they get the leaflet, and none of the parts are touched. So that's how I do it. Everybody does it a little bit differently. I know some people pour them out and just put the parts into a separate bag, but I can understand why a buyer wouldn't kind of accept that as being new. You know, I think if I'm getting the minifigure, I want everything that it came in. I never throw the packet away, so what, you know, but at least that way they're getting an experience that's as close to buying it off the shelf themselves. Next up, we've got a bunch of this lavender bricks, which nice to get rid of. Those come in the classic boxes, and you always end up with a lot of those kind of colours, so it's nice. Those have actually cleared me out. There's 140 of each in there. I'm probably spending more time than I said I was going to spend on these, but this order is quite interesting because these are the plates from the books from the Harry Potter sets that I parted out just last week, and I didn't expect these to move at all, and I've sold them all immediately, so that was a bit of a surprise for me. This order is for these spears with this sort of flexible end. And I had 3 of these left over from some sets that I parted out ages ago that I'd never listed. And I was really shocked at the price. There were none for sale in the UK as new. And I listed these at £3.50 each. And they all sold. So there you go. More Harry Potter stuff going out. Lots of printed tiles and stickers there. Another small order. There are more tiles and stickers, very similar in makeup to that order. And then more just general sort of part orders here as we go. So that's the first batch. I'm going to get this all packed up and ready to ship. Okay, we've got the second and last batch of orders for today. And surprisingly, there's been a bit of a rush on orange bricks, which seems a little unusual because orange is not something that sells very often for me. But we've got a fairly large order here of about 40 lots or so. And then over here, I'll show you this one next. We've got another order for lots and lots of orange. And this one is actually 86 lots, although it looks a smaller order than the other one. There was a lot more of odd individual parts. Now we've got a couple of orders on eBay, and some of these orders have just come in this morning after I showed you what I'd got for the day. This one is a J minifigure. And this one's an unusual one in that it is some Subbuteo figures that I found while sorting through some old toys that we'd got out of the loft. And I thought, why not throw them on eBay? And they're sold for about £5 something. Another parts order here of a decent size. And also some minifigures going out. Just basic sort of collectible minifig series, various series in there as well. So just going to get these packed up and then I'll be heading off to the post office. I'm taking a bit of a look at the pricing of my parts in particular. So I've created a list of just the parts where the item type is part. Because I don't want to be messing about with other things at the moment like instructions and minifigures and sets, so I'm focusing purely on parts. And you want to be looking at these prices regularly because as you list particularly new parts, you're going to be listing at the average price presumably, or whatever rate above or below the average price that you choose to sell at. And so you, over time, as more and more of the part becomes available, then the price will drop, you know, because people will come in, they'll try and undercut, and the availability will mean that the price will drop over that time. And so you want to be repricing regularly to make sure that the prices that you've got in your store are competitive. Now, the way I tend to like to do this is I'll pull all of the parts into the store and make sure that I've got, and I'm using Brickstore, by the way, if that isn't already obvious. And what I'll do is I'll bring in the price difference column so that I can see what my original price was as I downloaded the file. And also now with my newly averaged price at the current rate today, and it'll tell me what the difference is, and it'll tell you whether that's gone up or down. So you'll see a red here if there's a negative difference, and you'll see greens if there's a positive difference. So what I start to look for is I start to look at the negatives, which are the price drops. I sort it because I want to be checking if the price is dropping dramatically. So here the price has dropped by 77.7 pence, which is a lot. So I would want to be checking those items manually. So I would probably come in here, look at the part, go and have a look at how this is doing. And I can see that on average it should be selling at 1.32, and I've got mine listed at 1.99 because I obviously listed mine early on in terms of their availability. So now I think I said 1.35. The price that's coming in here is 121, which is probably where I'd want to be. So I'm actually going to leave that particular one. But what I'd also do is I'd be scrolling through here, and I'd look for all of the and I'm gonna have to go down a long way, I think. I'd start looking for all of the ones where the price is pretty much neutral. So I've either got this minus 000, or I've got the plus 000, and I'll select all of those and just hit delete from the file, because there's no point trying to update those if you're going to be updating exactly the same price. And then also you want to be looking at the other end of the scale and say, well, which ones have increased in value, because there will be some that have, you know, relatively significant increases. And you want to probably be checking these by hand. But to be honest, the way I look at it is, if they've not been selling at the price that you already had them listed at, why would you want to increase the price? You know, because yes, in theory, the average has gone up, but the name of the game here is you know, moving your parts, getting through your inventory, turning the inventory over, and moving it on. So I would probably, in my case, not do anything with these increased price differences. That's just me. Everybody might be different. You might think, oh well, I want a little bit more out of that, but I'll have a look at a few of these and I will spot check them, but I'm probably not going to do anything with them at all. The ones I'm going to be focused on are those, as I said earlier, where the prices are increasing or decreasing rather significantly. You know, 20 pence, 30 pence, 70 pence per item can be a significant drop. And in some cases, I've already processed some of these and removed them from the file where they dropped by pounds. So anyway, I just thought I'd touch on that, and hopefully that's useful to someone. Just make sure that you're updating your prices on a regular basis. For a while now, I deliberated whether to part this set out or sell it on eBay, and I had it listed on eBay for a while, and I had a few bites at it, but it just wasn't moving. So I decided I would list the minifigures separately, both on Bricklink and on eBay, and see what happened. And if you watch my last vlog, the Iron Man actually sold, and he sold for £45, I think, or just over. And there are a few other minifigures, so that meant, yeah, you guessed it, we had to part this out. So we've got this parted out, ready to go into the store. Only sold the Iron Man figure so far, but you know, there are other figures in here as well waiting to be sold. Not in a super hurry to see them go, so I don't mind if they sit there for a while. So this lot is going to get added to the store this morning, and hopefully that will help attract a few sales. I know it's always a pain doing one set. We all know that. Ideally you want to be doing, you know, 5-10 of a set or even more, but This was from my personal collection, just sat there, not doing anything, and I wanted to turn that into some cash. So hence the listing of the minifigures and the part out. And this isn't the only one that's going to happen to. In fact, one of the biggest dilemmas I've got at the moment, it's not a dilemma in terms of whether to do it or not. I really want to part it out, but it's just such a mammoth task, and that is to part out the Millennium Falcon. I've got one sat in a cupboard upstairs. I bought it when it first came out. I don't see it doubling in money anytime soon. So I'm considering parting it out, and the only thing holding me back is it's just such a mammoth task. There's no numbered bags, you know, so you've really got to sort the whole thing. If anyone's got any tips for how to sort such a big set, I'm just concerned because I need so much space and I don't really have the room to get it all parted out easily. But other sets as well that I'm possibly going to do that with, but I'll touch on them as we go. Tuesday the 28th of June, and this morning we've got 6 orders, although 2 of those are to the same buyer on eBay who has bought these 2 minifigures, the Kessel Mine Worker and the Han Solo Mud Trooper. Now these were from my own collection, and you know, the way I am, I'd kept the poly bag packets and the instructions, so they're all but new. They're certainly complete, as if you were buying the new poly bag, and they went for I think about £11 each, which was decent. Other orders today are just, you know, relatively basic orders, the largest one being I think 40 lots or so, and last one here just for a minifigure, and this is for the swimming champion, and it looks like they've bought some goggles and flippers to go with that as well. So that's it for orders for today. Next thing is to get that little set put away that I mentioned previously, and then we'll find something else to do. I've just picked up a little bonus order from a kind buyer, and I say kind because they placed an order yesterday, and I dispatched, and they've received it this morning. And unfortunately, there was a part missing from one of the minifigures that they bought, and they offered to pay postage for the part if I had it to send them. And I did have the part, but of course it's my fault, so I said I would send it out today, completely at my expense, as it's my fault. And within about 30 minutes they've kindly placed another order, which is this order here, which means I can send the missing part from yesterday's order with this at no cost to myself, and I've sold a few more things along the way. So I think the moral of the story is to always try and provide good customer service, be open, be honest, and hopefully people reward you for that. 2 more orders just arrived, and had a little bit of a problem with this one because the buyer had originally requested a new scientist, and I showed that I had 3 new sealed ones on stock, but when I looked I just couldn't find them. I assume that I've got a bit out of sync with my eBay sales over time, and that's why I'm missing them. Now I've been in touch, and he's happy to accept this used one in exchange along with the other one. So all of these are series 14, and appreciate them being flexible on that. And the other order is for 4 of these bright light yellow slide elements, and they're a bit of a pain, these, just because they need to be shipped as a small parcel. So do make them a little bit expensive just because of the postage for people, but that's the price you pay for the type of parts that you want, unfortunately. So just going to get these packed up, and then I'm gonna get started finally on sorting some of these heads out, I think, because they're just sat here taking up space. I've kind of categorized them a little bit into male and female and sort of beards and some obvious things like that, but I do need to go through them all and check them and get them listed. So that's probably going to be my next job, I think. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to start sorting these heads, and I saw somewhere, I don't recall where, whether it was Facebook, Instagram or whatever, where someone had created some 3D printed tray to hold the heads in place so that you could see them more easily and manipulate them. And so I have recreated, or am recreating, my own version of this. So basically I've just got an old used base plate here, and I'm just pilfering my used backlog of 1x bricks and just adding them on here, and then the heads, as you see, will sit in these nice little grooves and allow you to view them more easily. And yeah, I thought that was a pretty good idea. So I'm not trying to take credit for the idea of the trays, and I certainly don't want to lose anyone any business from people buying them trays if that's what they're doing. But this seems a pretty easy substitute to knock together very quickly and do the same thing. So I'm working through some of these minifigure heads, only really just started, and working through Brickstore. And what I've done is I have set the category here to minifigure head, set the color to light nugget, and you lock it in so that you're only looking at the light nugget heads. And then I've typed in a keyword of beard, and that has limited the list. I've also got it on the sort of gallery icon here, so that you're seeing pretty large pictures, as you can see here. And I've just hit on a pretty nice head. So I've just been looking through and found this one here, which is this little head here. And it shows the importance of, you know, making sure you're going through and listing these things as sort of often and as regularly as you can, because the price on this one used is around £5.50 to £6 for that one head. And it turns out it's Thorin Oakenshield from Lord of the Rings. So that's a nice little find. I'll be adding that to the list, and hopefully find a few more gems in here as well. It's now Wednesday the 29th of June, and one order currently on Bricklink, and I say currently because there are a couple of orders that have come in for invoicing. For those of you who don't know, everything that I do is typically automatic, automatic checkout, that is. And that's with the exception of international, and that's only because international can vary a little, and I always want to make sure I'm accurate with that, because it can be so expensive. Now, of the ones that have been invoiced, I had a nice little order and a nice comment from fellow YouTuber and good buddy of mine, Ralph from Ralph's Bricks. and he's written, yo, watched the last video and thought I'd support a fellow Bricklink YouTuber with a small order. Watch the latest vlog and check my wanted list against your store, and you had something I could use. Hope this helps a little. I even watched all the ads for you too. You're a star, Ralph. Thanks very much for the order. We'll get this out for you as soon as you've paid, of course. There's no orders today on Brick Owl, and eBay, we've got 5 orders to post, and that has picked up a little bit, although admittedly I think 4 of these are from the same person. But what I have noticed, which I think is a thing with eBay, is that sales seem to breed sales, if that makes sense. So in other words, when you are selling and listing things, then I think the eBay algorithm seems to push your things more to the front, and therefore seems to generate more sales. So the moral of the story is really sort of keep adding to listings on eBay. Hopefully some of those will sell. Keep making offers to people, and any activity on the store just shows that you're active to eBay, and they will promote you. I'm pretty sure of that. So here's today's orders so far. As I said, I have got a couple that are invoiced and waiting for payment. These literally took sort of 5-10 minutes to pick. Just a basic parts order. This particular buyer asked me to reduce the number of bags, so that's what I've done. It's got used in one bag and all of the new in another. We've got a Series 21 minifig going out, and then we've got 4 different Harry Potter minifigures, all bought by the same person. So I do need to have a little look at some of the newer listings that I've put on eBay, because since eBay changed the format of the listing tool and the structure of it, I don't seem to be listing these in quite the same way. They seem to be missing one of my promotions that I run, where if you buy 3 figures, or 3, yeah, I run it on minifigures only, so it's not really appropriate for sets. But if you buy 3 minifigures, then you'd get 20% off. So I need to check why that is not working, and hopefully that would generate a few more sales as well. Hopefully that's only missing on the newer items that I've listed recently. And these Harry Potter figures here I listed last week when I parted the sets out that I'd bought recently. So anyway, something else to look into. I've just received another order from a fairly regular customer of mine, and they've left a little note to say, hi, sorry to hear you are struggling at the moment. This is only a small order, but I hope it helps a little. First class service as always. Cheers, Graham. Graham, thanks very much for the order. It's really not a small order at all. It's about 30 odd pounds worth for people who are not seeing the order. I'll show it shortly once I've got it all picked and packed and put away. But I think what this demonstrates is just how great the Lego community is, and those people who watch my vlog who have, you know, seen that sales are pretty or have been slow over the last month or so, and been, you know, great supporters and placing orders with the store to just add a little bit to that order total for the month, and that really is appreciated. So thank you not just to Graham who's placed this order, but to Ralph from earlier, from Ralph's Bricks, and you know, several other people at least who've placed orders in the store for, you know, maybe things that they want or needed, maybe things that they didn't need at all in some cases but could use in the future. and they've just happened to find them on the store and placed an order. Thanks very much to everyone. And here is Graham's order on the left here, which is for a whole bunch of new and used parts. I noticed that he's bought lots and lots of tiles, in particular from 1x1s to 2x2s and various other sizes as well. And I'm sure these will be coming in handy for his Lego city that he's building. Also picked up an Ninjago minifigure in with that lot, so thanks again, Graham, for that order. Also a little order just came in on Brickowl for a little head and a couple of helmets there, and the small orders are appreciated along with the larger ones as well, so thanks for those. So I've been listing these minifig heads on and off between doing a few other tasks around the store, picking orders and doing a few other bits and pieces. And the good thing about doing this is it doesn't only add value, of course, but it's adding lots to my store. So I've only listed, I think I've got 94 different heads here, and that's, I'm pretty sure, gonna be 94 new lots to the store, which is really good. And I've still got so many heads still to sort through and list as well. So I'm going to get them uploaded shortly, and hopefully they may drive a few more orders. And I've had a few more orders in this afternoon as well, all just parts orders, 3 more. Still waiting for 2 from this morning to be paid for as well, and as soon as those are paid for, we'll get them picked and sent out. So I'm not sure whether that will be today or tomorrow yet, but we'll see whether they come in or not. I'm gonna think about probably doing a bit of admin for the last hour now, because I'm pretty sick of sorting minifig heads for the moment. It's a bit late in the day to start sorting used things out, so I think I'm going to catch up with a bit of admin. So it's the 30th of June today, last day of the month, and not a bad day to end on, really, because we've got 5 orders on Bricklink, but they're all for reasonable amounts of money. One in particular there, which is 136 lots for 40 odd pounds, not bad. We've also got the order from Ralph's Bricks in here after he's paid for his order overnight, so thanks again for that one, Ralph. And then we have got 2 orders on Brickowl, and Brickowl has been the slowest of the platforms recently, and funnily enough, I looked at the number of carts I had on here yesterday, and I had probably the most I've had in quite a while, and yet people don't seem to be pulling the trigger as much and actually placing the orders. So I'm not really sure why, but let's see whether any of those carts turn into orders over the coming days. There is another interesting thing about these orders. There's 7 orders today. 4 of them are international, and 3 of them are going to the US. So that's a bit of an unusual balance for more than 50% of them to be going international. By the way, there's nothing at all on eBay, but as I say, some decent orders and quite a few lots to pick, some higher lot counts in there. So I'm going to get cracking and get started on those orders. So I'm just picking my last order for this morning, and this is a fairly large lot count. It's I think 136 different lots. So I wanted to give you some insight into how I'm packing those, you know, bearing in mind that, you know, some of these will be 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s of parts. I'm obviously not going to bag 136 different lots. I don't think it's sensible for either me or the buyer. And, you know, there's always debate about, you know, the number of bags used in orders. So just thought I'd show you how I sort of try and approach this. And the way that I do it is I try and keep separate pots for similar type items. So for instance, I started here with a pot for 1x1 plates, and as I was picking the order, some other things have crept in here as well, like some of these sort of quarter tiles, some cheese slopes, etc. And then I've got another pot that were 1x2s. And then I've got another pot that were just small assorted items. And then where I do have a lot that is a larger quantity, so in here we've got 38 of these. I didn't want to just dump them in with the other 1x2s or the small plates, so I will bag and keep those separate. Now, when I get to used parts, then I'll have some other tubs, and by and large I'll just dump all of the used parts together into reasonable sized bags. And then with other sort of newer parts that are slightly bigger, I'll just create sort of sensibly sized pots. Now, if this had much bigger items, so lots of large plates, for instance, then I'd be putting them into larger tubs, of course. But essentially, I'm just creating different groups of a similar type of parts, keeping them together, and then I'll just bag them with one bag per pot here. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll get to the end and I think I can actually combine a couple of pots, so that can happen as well. But anyway, just thought I'd give you a little insight into how I'm grouping these as I pick. Okay, let's take a look at this morning's orders. Just a quick flyby. Lots of Harry Potter related tiles and things in that order. This is Ralph's Bricks little order with a Barra Sophie minifig and some various leg assemblies, etc. Another order here going off to the US with a few minifigures and lots of white 1x1x5 bricks going out. This one is another order with this large sticker sheet. This is from the Batcave, the one that was all of the dark tan one that was a classic TV Batcave. The sticker sold for about £4.50. Another small order. Then we've got a eBay order which came in, which I didn't cover on this morning's roundup of the orders. This is a repeat customer that has bought quite a lot of me in recent weeks, and I'd given them a 10% coupon code, so they've purchased those. And then this is the largest order of the day. This was the one I touched on in the previous video about how I was picking them. So as I said in that, there's I think 136 lots here. So just got to get those all packed up, and then I'm gonna find something else to do. Not quite sure what at this point, but I'm sure I'll find something. Friday the 1st of July, and we've got just a couple of orders today. We've got this one on Bricklink, which is coming all the way from Australia. It's for a couple of minifigures, and it's from a watcher of the channel, actually. This is from Michelle, all the way over in Australia, as I say, and that order is very much appreciated. And then we've got a small order on Bricklink there, and we've got nothing on eBay at all. And what's even more scary at the moment is when you start a new month on this is Brick Freedom. So Brick Freedom is what I use to sync my inventory across my stores, and this gives you a running total throughout the month of the number of sales you've made, the sales income, the sales per day, etc. And it's a bit scary at the start of a new month when you see this and you've got no sales. So even though I've got 2 orders today, those would have been invoiced yesterday or received yesterday while it was still June. So as I say, always a little scary. Hopefully this outlook will change very quickly. So this is the sum total of orders for today, July the 1st. I've just checked and it's 4 o'clock now. I've purposefully left these from this morning just to see if anything else came in. I always like to try and sort of batch things, so I pick in batches. I put the orders out, as you'll see in all of my vlogs recently, that I'll pick as many orders as I can fit on the table, and then I'll pack them all together. And I just think it's quicker than doing one order at a time, picking it, putting it in the envelope, weighing it, going entering it into the post, etc. So that's why I do the batching. But I'd left these because I hoped or anticipated that I might get more orders through the rest of today, and it's not transpired at all. There's nothing else come through other than an order for Israel that someone's asked me to provide an invoice for, so I've done that, but nothing that needed packing or picking and packing. So this is it. I'm going to be packing this up and then heading off to the post office. So the main thing here is the 2 minifigures going out to Australia to a watcher of the channel. I think I mentioned Michelle this morning, so thanks for that, Michelle, and thanks for watching the channel. And I'll be getting these off in the post very shortly.